AI is no longer valuable only because it answers quickly. Importantly, it becomes more valuable when it remembers correctly. The strategic shift is from one-time intelligence to accumulated context. Your decisions' tone, goals, contacts, documents, and routines form a private operating layer. Next, the product is not a chatbot. More specifically, the product is continuity that compounds every time you use it. Thus, personalization turns into a measurable work asset. Most work still begins with re-explaining. Teams search for the same file and restate the same constraint. They rewrite the same update and rebuild the same context. When coordination consumes more time than skilled work. The bottleneck is not creativity, it is organizational memory failing at human speed. Experts are forced to become their own search engine every morning. Your calendar knows your rhythm. Next email knows your relationships. Documents know your decisions. Project tools know the workflow. None of them know the whole pattern. Importantly, modern AI can reason across context, thus without a persistent memory layer. Every request is a temporary reconstruction. More specifically, it's not a compounding system. Notably, the intelligence resets while the work continues. Momentum leaks between tabs. A useful AI memory is not a folder of notes. It is a living model of how you work. It stores preferences and extracts patterns. It links events to decisions and retrieves what matters. The assistant stops asking what should be known. It starts knowing where to look and what to ignore. It understands how to proceed with the task. The product stack looks different from traditional productivity software. Next at the bottom is ingestion from chats, files, apps, and meetings. Importantly, above it sits indexing, summarization, embeddings, and source provenance. Then come permission scopes and policies. More specifically, at the top, agents use memory to plan, write, decide, and act notably across the tools that once trapped context separately. Thus, this is where memory changes from a feature into infrastructure. The core asset is a graph, not a transcript. One node represents a person. Another node is a project. Another node is a recurring decision rule. It could be a preferred tone or client constraint. It might also be an unresolved goal. Edges explain why these elements matter together. This transforms scattered personal history into machine-readable operating context, where recall is no longer passive storage, but active reasoning infrastructure. The loop is simple and powerful: capture context, distill signal, and retrieve relevant memory. Execute through tools, then update the memory after the outcome. Every completed task trains the system without retraining the model. Importantly, the assistant becomes faster as the environment gets smarter. Notably, the user stops paying the context tax repeatedly. The loop quietly improves with every accepted output. Control over personal memory is essential for user trust and transparency. Users need the ability to inspect, edit, and delete their data effectively. Memory without control can feel invasive and uncomfortable. Including source tracing makes memory more trustworthy and reliable. The best products will not hide personalization in magic or complexity. They will present memory as a managed layer of identity and consent. This approach gives users real governance over their decisions and scope. A generic AI can be copied. Next, your accumulated memory cannot. Importantly, the more decisions and preferences it contains. More specifically, the more examples and relationships it holds. Thus, the more useful the assistant becomes. Notably, this creates a new switching cost. Leaving the tool means leaving behind the context that makes the tool feel intelligent and familiar. Unusually aligned with how you operate, two workers can use the same model and get completely different results. One starts every task from a blank prompt. The other begins with remembered priorities and known stakeholders. Reusable templates and past decisions are already loaded. The advantage is not better prompting. It is less forgetting and less setup. Fewer moments where knowledge disappears between apps. The next interface may look like conversation, but underneath it will behave like memory retrieval. Next, it will assemble the context and choose the workflow. Importantly, it will apply your preferences and operate back-end apps. Thus, software becomes less visible over time. More specifically, memory becomes the control plane, notably for calendars documents, inboxes, spreadsheets, and agents. When your AI understands your patterns better than a coworker who joined yesterday, productivity feels personal. It knows what you ignore, what you approve, and what tone you use. It also recognizes which trade-offs you repeat. The shocking question is no longer whether AI can help you work. It is whether your memory layer becomes your most valuable collaborator. More specifically, it could be your strategist and institutional archive,